Hello and welcome back to a new watercolour video. Today I'm going to do one from this book, or possibly just to be inspired by this book. I'm wanting to learn how to create mandalas, and I'm going to use this Creative Drawing Symbols and Sacred Geometry book by Anna Victoria Calderon. I also watched a YouTube video. I'll tell you what it's called if I can find it. This video was absolutely amazing. It really simplified how to make mandalas. If you're interested in watching, the video is called Complete Beginner's Guide to Mandalas and Sacred Geometry Art. I will link the video in the description below, but I've also got some new paints that I've ordered from Arte Miranda, and I think that they're based in Spain. So I've ordered the Roman Szmal paints. So I'm going to get this open and try these out. They're actually really good value paints, and I think I've ordered all large pans, so the full pans. I'll have a little play around with the paints first and then I'll come back to the book. Okay, so Roman Szmal has just brought out a brand new little Urban Sketches set, which I didn't get because I wasn't really that interested in the colours that was in the set. But they also brought out the cute little metal tins to put the paints in, which I really do like. And they've got 4 colours, and I've got the pink and the blue, and then I've bought a bunch of paints as well. Take a little look at the tins first. Oh, that is beautiful. So there's a little pink one, and the whole 12, but I don't really like these, and I might just put them in the bottom here. What gets on my nerves is these little bits here. They tend to go over the paint. It overlaps onto the paint and I just don't like it. Okay, so that's a gorgeous little tins. Now I don't know if these are all going to fit in here. So almost 4, 8, 12, so I must have bought 16, I think. So I went for like some unusual colours because I've got quite a few watercolour paint sets, and they've all got the same kind of basic colours in. So all these colours are a little bit different, and I've gone for more earthy tones. I love these little boxes, they're so cute. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick swatch to swatch them out, and then I'm going to create the mandala, which I'm going to paint with these colours, or I'll pick some of the colours out. Let's see how many I can get in. I don't know how many I'm going to get in here for. Looks like 8. Looks like I'm going to get 8 in here. Hopefully. Will you fit? Will you fit? Yeah. And once the paper's off, I'll maybe be a little bit. Oh, they're just going to fit lovely and smug. So that's, oh, they're actually going to fit perfect because I've got 16 colours. I really didn't realise that. That is brilliant.
Come on, soft, turn the key and cooler on. Push a pause for relief. Free pass, you don't even have.
Okay, so I've worked out what colours I'm putting in each tin. I've used the little labels so that I can see the swatched out colours. So I've got all the kind of reds and blues in one set, and then I add 7 greens, and then I've put this last blue because it's indigo greenish, so it's kind of got a little bit of green. So those are going to go in the blue set, and these ones are going to go in the pink set, in the pink tin. I'm going to get rid of those. I do need to put some magnets on the bottom of these, but they are actually in the hut, so I'll have to do that tomorrow because it's like 1 AM right now. I don't want to go outside. Right, so I'll just swatch them out. So we're starting with German Green Earth, which is a fairly weak colour, but really nice. And Glauconite. And Davies Grey. I do already have Davies Grey in Winsor & Newton, but it was a tube that I put into a pan, and it's very, very hard to re-wet. Then we've got Malachite, Autumn Green, Olive Green Light, which is absolutely gorgeous, Forest Green, and Indigo Greenish. And then onto the blue-red colours, there's Aquarius Cobalt Blue, Misty Morning, which is very lilac-y, and it was very, very pale on the picture. I just kind of picked a bunch of colours, and this looked like super, super light. It's actually a lot darker, and it's a lot more lilac-y. And then we've got Vine Violet, which looks lovely. Lava, oh, it's quite strong. Potter's Pink, Quinacridone Maroon, Burnt Sienna, I think it's Monte Amiata, which is lovely. It's quite a weak colour. And then Burnt Sienna Brownish, which is quite strong. Okay, so that's all the colours that I purchased. Really, really nice. Really unusual compared to the colours that I have. These ones are kind of reminding me of the super granulating. But yeah, I'm pleased with my selection. They're really nice.
Be the cat in the sun. Someday I will see the whole deal through. Today I've got better things to do. Okay, to leave a little bit undone and be the cat in the sun. Be the cat in the sun. Set aside every empty spreadsheet line and loosen up on the grind. Simmer down, settle back and mess around. Be the cat in the sun. Someday I will see the whole deal through. Today I've got better things to do. Okay, to leave a little bit undone.
Okay, so I've made little swatches for the tins themselves, and I can't believe they all fit so perfectly. It looks like it was completely planned, and I had no idea if they would fit these little sets. So I'm really pleased about that.
Be the cat in the sun.
And I'm going to use these little strips just to kind of like pick colour combinations to see what looks nice next to each other. So this should help me pick a colour palette when I come to colour in the mandala. I love these two colours together, the Potter's Pink and the Malachite. I think they go lovely. You know, we'd need a dark as well. That's quite a nice combination with the indigo greenish. They look beautiful, lovely pastels, Misty Morning, Malachite and Potter's Pink. Sorry about the banging in the background, we're getting work done on the roof. So it's a good little way to help me pick some nice colour combinations. Okay, so now for the book. I had a little flick through it last night and I realised that although it's a beautiful book, and the cover kind of promises so much, there's not much instruction in it really, which is quite disappointing, but it is a beautiful book as far as inspiration goes. Like, look at this is absolutely gorgeous. So what I've learned so far before even looking at this book, just from watching people's videos, there's some basic well-known patterns such as the Seed of Life. I think this is one of the main ones and it's very, very simple to do. And I remember trying to make one of these in the past and I was having a real struggle, but because I've watched that person's video, it's quite simple. So I'm going to have a little play around. I'm definitely just going to use the book for inspiration. I'm not really going to learn anything from the book other than basically take ideas from how this artist has absolutely beautifully coloured in these mandalas. I'm going to have a little play around. Okay, so I'll just start with a small one. So the Seed of Life, I think I can do it without looking at any instruction because of the videos that I've watched. So you start with a small circle, put the point on the line again and do another circle. And then you put the point on one of the intersections and do another circle. And then go to this intersection. And then just keep moving it around. To the next intersection. And then I think this will be the last one. Oh, maybe one more. Yeah, just one more. Oh, flaming hell. I need to dig the point in harder. Whoop. Yeah, so that one went a bit wrong because I moved the point by accident. But yeah, it's pretty simple to do. I'll just quickly do another one. Oh, flaming hell. I'm not getting the point in. I need to dig the point into the paper harder, I think. One of the things that I was overthinking as well was where to start for this second circle. You could just start anywhere at all on that line. Doesn't really matter. Because I was thinking, well, I have to find the perfect point at the bottom for it to work. But no, you could just stick the point in anywhere at all on that circle. And then they say this is kind of a seed and you can create all kinds of other patterns within the mandala just from this actual seed, which must be why it's called a seed. I think I've moved that now. So as long as you don't move your compass, and this is like a lock-on one, so it'll just stay wherever you leave it, it won't move. So I'm just going to experiment with this book. I'm going to try and do this one just by following the instructions in this book because I haven't seen any videos of this one being made. I've kind of realised already I'm going to need a better compass. I need one that I can put the pen in, so to go over the lines with the pen. I can't do that with this compass, and also it has no measurements on it, where so the instructions in the book was to alter the measurements, and I need a more advanced compass. This one's really only for drawing circles, but you can't put measurements on what you know on your circles. So this has kind of like gone a little bit wrong, because in the book, can you see how in the book there's a gap here, whereas there isn't with mine. Mine's coming right to here. There's no little gap, and that's probably because I wasn't able to do the measurements that she gave in the book. So I'm gonna have to invest in a more advanced compass. I thought I'd got a good one, but now I realise I haven't really. Just very basic. I'll be glad when this building work's finished. It's absolutely, this is into the second week now. Just bang, 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 bang. Really loud radio. They have the radio absolutely blaring most of the time. Yeah, so, I mean, this one's good that it locks, so it won't move unless you turn the wheel. But there's no measurements, so in the book she's saying, open your compass to 2 1/4 inches. Well, there's not, I can't do that unfortunately. And then because this is, there's no way I can put a pen in this, like swap the pencil out for a pen to go over the lines with a pen. Okay, so I've had a look at some compasses, and I've found one that I've ordered, one that will hold a pen or a pencil, and it also has the option of this little integrated graphite lead, but it doesn't have any measurements on it. And I've just kind of realised, it just dawned on me that I probably just need to use a ruler. So when it says in the book 2 1/4 inches or 6 centimetres, I probably need to do that this way. So open it out. Yeah, that's probably how you get the correct measurements, by doing this. And I must say, it is quite enjoyable. I really enjoyed doing this. So then this is where the compass with the pen holder would come in, because then I could attach the pen, and then you can add a thinner line here, like on the inside. So hopefully that'll get delivered tomorrow. I've ordered it off Amazon. I'm just going to have a little practice, just play around with the other designs, and then I'm going to pick something that I'm going to paint. I'll put it on proper watercolour paper and paint it. Okay, so I'm going to go with this pattern. It's a seed of life and then a second seed of life kind of over the top of it to make it a little bit more complex. I'm just going to grab a few pencils just to work out kind of how I'm going to just make a little plan of how I'm going to separate these out. So I've literally just realised that I've done this wrong. Oh my god, what happened? Just these 2 extra ones by accident. So I'm going to have to just do those two and those two and those two and those two and make it all the same. So they're going to be larger pink petals. How did I not even notice that? I didn't even notice it while I was doing it. And here's me saying this is so easy. And it is easy, but I think I'd just gone into autopilot and wasn't concentrating. Has anybody else noticed that Archie's watercolour paper smells like wet dog when it's wet? Wonder why it has this smell. Okay, so that's the first colour down. The Potter's Pink. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I've changed my mind though. I've taken out the Misty Morning. I think this needs green. So I'm going to use the Malachite, and for some dark contrast, the Vine Violet. I'm going to give this one of these extended point brushes a little go. When I first got them, I had a little play around with them, but I've never actually tried to paint anything with them. So I'm going to try and use this for the middle. So it's one of these with a large brush here and then a skinny brush on the end. So the idea is when you're using a really thin liner brush, you don't have to keep loading your brush with paint as often, because you've kind of got a reservoir of paint in here that's going to keep flowing down. So we'll see how it works in practice. Oh, there we go. See if I can do the whole flower without loading it up. Yeah, I think it is actually. Okay, it's just it just takes a bit to get it going every time you start on like a dry piece of paper. But then in a few strokes the paint starts flowing onto the area. Yeah, it's just like a little bit of a learning curve actually. Yeah, when you press down you get a little bead of water. Maybe that's the knack. So press down, get the bead of water, and then spread it out. So now that I think I know how it works, yeah, I'm going to try this out with my metallics, see if it'll work with the metallic paints. I think I'm going to leave it like that, and then maybe get a little bit more experimental as I do more. But there's just so many different patterns you can make from this basic seed. I was thinking about maybe adding some detail, some more detail, but I thought no, just leave it, don't overdo it. I think it actually looks quite nice just for a first go, and I'm really looking forward to doing some more. But I'm going to get started on my next video, which is going to be just a paint along of a nice watercolor, and the new compass has arrived, so I thought I'll just give you a quick look at this. So it's a lot bigger than this one. It's got, you can have the opportunity of this with a little lead, which is what I don't want. I've put this one in so you can put your own pen and pencil in, and then also instead of, you can alter it by turning the wheel like you do on this one, but you can also just press these down and open and close it, and then as soon as you let go it's locked again, which is absolutely brilliant. But of course there's no measurements on it. I thought I'd saw some compasses with measurements on, but I couldn't find any when I looked, but I realise now I really don't need the measurements. And then this one also comes with an extension, but that goes in there, and then you can do like much larger circles. Yeah, so this little set is by Stedler, and I just got that on Amazon. I forgot, I just need to erase the pencil lines. I absolutely can't believe how easy this was to make, and so much fun, so relaxing to do. If you just want to do some simple relaxing painting but for it to look really effective, I would definitely recommend this. Get yourself a compass if you haven't already got one. I feel like I just want to make loads more, and all kinds of different colours, and you can, the potential for just like tons and tons of different designs you can make. So I'm definitely going to be making another one pretty soon. I really want to add some metallics. There we go. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please give me a like and subscribe if you have.